buzz about it. Obviously, the community is reacting to it. You've heard these stories.
And there's been a lot of Facebook posts of people expressing their thoughts on this, and it's very vulgar ordinance, I would say. Yeah. Okay. So we have a bit of an enumerated list of points of why this ordinance should not be passed. With the first being, if we effectively advocate for providing services to homeless Massillonians, as Lutz has said, then there shouldn't be any encampments removed in the first place. This is basically to say that before we prohibit these people from being able to use their final last resort, we need to provide them ways to get out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, veterans and children are disproportionately more likely to be homeless.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way I imagine it is, imagine you are a veteran or a child of a person who is down on their luck, and you are approached by a peace officer who says, "I'm sorry, but what you are doing is a crime."
So we all want to have a solution to this. I mean, Sleuth's brought this legislation up because he mentioned specifically the services, as Gage said, and we have people here who talk about wanting to have a solution to this because people are at risk. And in this case, criminalizing encampments does not fix the issue. It just moves them around. It creates more spots you have to target. If the problem is purely logistic, if the problem is that the enforcement costs too much or that the enforcement is too much for the community, you're not getting rid of that enforcement, you're just giving yourself more ground to cover. So imagine, as you've heard, being not homeless yourself. If you're simply a person here who just has a basic sense of empathy, you see your fellow Massillonian and they're an impoverished neighbor of yours, and they're forced away from what is their last resort, and you don't know if they're going to be safe or if they're going to be behind bars. At its core, the ordinance is not a solution to the problem, it's just a means to bury it. If we all want to find a solution, and it seems like we all want to find a solution, then surely there's a way to do that that doesn't put people at more risk.
Mm-hmm.
As the person before us said, they mentioned a tax on vacant housing, and regardless of the logistics of that specifically, there are about 15,000 homes in Massillon, and over 1,000 of them are vacant.
Oh.
So clearly the issue isn't a matter of how much housing there is, and clearly the issue isn't that homeless people exist. The issue is how we approach it, and I think we can approach it with empathy before we approach it with conviction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicely said.